Welcome to Talking Ball. A little bit different kind of upload times and all that. Just real quick to get it out of the way, we've had COVID.
Yeah, been on a little bit of a hiatus. We got hit with the COVID bug, especially started out me and Dave, and now old Dow's been hit with it.
We had a youth retreat we went to with our church. We were gone for a week, so we were all out of town. And then we come back and had COVID.
Yeah.
So that's why there's been nothing for 2 weeks, and we hate it. And for those that are really consistent viewers that are watching this,
apologize.
we do apologize. But
Pigeon Forge, be careful. It's
Yeah.
running rampant over yonder.
yeah,
ways.
and don't be scared of COVID, but I mean have precaution.
Yeah, be smart.
But and view that how you will. But without any further ado, we're back.
We're back, baby.
And,
Better than ever.
Dow is actually now he has COVID.
Yeah.
So we're over it, and
He's got it.
probably about 4 or 5 days removed from it, and he now has it, or he's bad sick.
Yeah.
He probably
he
got
probably
it.
got it.
If he ain't got it, he's got something that he can't be here. And so with that being said, we're just gonna real quick shout out our sponsors.
Yes.
Cam Smith with Just Jesus
Thank you, Kim.
Radio
Man,
Network.
I missed that.
Today is actually Saturday. I preached on that this morning
Come on.
at 8:30.
God in the
and
dark,
so,
son.
That's right. He's God in the dark. Go listen if you want, and just give that a download on the App Store, whether you got Android or Apple. It doesn't matter, and however that goes. But as well, you can catch him with his insurance broker for all your needs there. Dallas does this.
He does. He does it smoothly, quick,
He does
to the
this.
point.
We need Dow for this. I don't know all the details of that,
Mm.
but I do know that we'll put his info in the description.
What I know is he'll get you right. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's what
I
matters.
know that, and I also know that we don't have Dow to operate the sound stuff,
Right.
and that cord does not look like it's all the way plugged in, and I'm really worried about it. But
Hopefully it is.
we'll see how it goes. But with that being said, what we're here for.
Also, well, quick shameless plug. On our website, we're now selling back scratchers. So, $10.99. Free shipping.
We do. One day we'll probably not ever have merch. I don't know.
No, not at all.
Without
Maybe
any further ado, it feels really good to be back. I may cough throughout this. I still don't have all my.
Was that a new Christmas shirt? I don't think I've seen that on
Yeah,
yet,
or
bro.
Dylan Hart.
Little Dell with the rack,
Dell.
baby? Come on, man.
It's got him on the back with he's opening up his fire suit, and
Come
it's
on
got
now.
a camo shirt on.
Pretty
But
good.
so do it for Dale, baby.
Yes, let's go.
But so just real quick, and I know we're a week removed from these games, but to react to the Georgia-Michigan game, the Alabama-Cincinnati game, first off, what game surprised you more?
I would honestly probably have to say the Georgia-Michigan game.
Absolutely.
We got on here and we said that we all three expected that the Bama-Cincinnati game would possibly be closer than what a lot of people think. And a lot of people look at that score and they say Bama wiped the floor with Cincinnati.
Right.
I watched that game and it was a lot more competitive than people think. Now,
About 3 quarters.
Yeah, now Alabama absolutely dominated the line of scrimmage. I
did.
think they ran. Literally the very first drive, I think they ran it like 9 times, and
Yep.
they pretty much didn't get stopped. But Cincinnati shot themselves in the foot a lot. They had some opportunities, especially early to score. They
Yes.
had they had like back-to-back batted balls that would have been touchdowns, and that game was really, to me, watching the game, it was a lot more competitive than what the score said. But when you look at the Georgia-Michigan game, it was over from the word go.
From the word go. There was never a point in Georgia versus Michigan that Michigan had any momentum.
Not at all.
Never.
Not
From the
literally
point
not a
that
single
they
time.
kicked the ball off, it looked like they were defeated.
From y'all's opening drive, it was y'all
The only
dominated.
time that they had anything going was like their first play offensively
Yeah.
when McNamara scrambled for 20
Right,
yards. And honestly, I was sitting there watching that. I was like, "Holy crap! Here's our defense
Yeah.
about to fold again."
Right.
But after that, it was lockdown,
Right.
and they finally scored a late garbage time touchdown. But to go back to Cincinnati, Bama, here's what I thought. I thought Cincinnati had the skill guys on the outside and the defense as far as secondary, and they have good linebackers to keep up with Bama,
Right.
and that's why they hung in there.
Yeah.
They did not have the big guys. They did not have the line
No,
of scrimmage.
absolutely not.
And Desmond Ridder is a good quarterback. He's not a great
He's not
quarterback.
elite, absolutely. And I've seen a lot of people on big college football Instagram pages and stuff like that saying, "Man, Cincinnati shouldn't have been the 4 seed."
Absolutely, they should.
Absolutely. And
Cincinnati will beat your favorite team.
not only should they have been the 4 seed, how many times have we seen much worse blowouts than that? The Michigan team that was getting hyped, rightfully so, and I think they should have been ranked where they were ranked, they got dominated. Cincinnati really didn't get completely dominated in that game. They absolutely didn't.
Well, let me ask you this: who's better, Cincinnati or Michigan?
I don't know.
If they played before the playoffs, who would you have taken?
Before the play, I probably would have said Michigan was going to win.
Okay.
I probably would have picked Michigan.
Cincinnati
After that
looked better.
showing. No, they absolutely look better. But I would also
Play
say
different teams.
Right. I would also say this, and I think these bowl games showed it a little bit, is that a lot of people tried to isolate that SEC championship game. Look, Georgia got exposed. Bama's really dominant, and then Georgia came against Michigan and showed how they were dominant all year.
And that's what Kirk Herbstreit said. Georgia didn't come out of the gates against Michigan and figure something new out.
Right.
All Georgia did is what they did for 12
doing.
weeks.
Yeah. Y'all got after the quarterback that y'all weren't able to do in the SEC championship game. Y'all ran the ball well. Y'all were able to pass off the run. Y'all dominated the game. And again, I think a lot of people isolated the SEC championship game, and a lot of people were shocked. Wow, I can't believe Michigan's a fraud. I don't think Michigan was a fraud.
No.
Now, I mean, I think if y'all played 10 times, y'all beat them probably 8 of those 10 times. I don't think y'all necessarily beat them that dominant every time.
Probably not.
But y'all been that good all year except for one game, the SEC championship game. Bama has struggled at times all year except for the SEC championship game. And I'm guilty of it. We're all guilty of it, of isolating games. But you got to think, any given Saturday, that team's ready. That team's a little bit underprepared. That team's a little bit overhyped. I mean, that's a real thing.
It's a one-game season, and that's why the games are played, because there's things that happen in a game. There's ebbs and flows that don't matter how good you are or how talented you are, and so there's things like that. I mean, you have 2 interceptions from Michigan.
Yeah.
That it wasn't really a play that DK made.
Right.
It's just bad balls.
Yeah.
And it worked in our favor, but that's football.
And I mean, there was that one play at the Michigan's corner. I can't remember. He just stopped.
Yeah.
I forgot. I don't know who Stetson threw the
on,
ball
it was
to. I
on
couldn't
Burton.
remember. On Burton. I mean, he was in good coverage for half the route.
It wasn't really a great ball.
Yeah, and I mean, he just kind of stopped. I don't know if he just thought the play was over, and then Burton ends up running wide open, and kind of the one with DK on the sideline, or the second one that Cade threw in the end zone. The wide receiver just kind of stopped on that route. Now, it's probably
miscommunication.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably not a touchdown either way. He kind of threw it in double coverage regardless.
He did.
But the wide receiver for Michigan just kind of stopped on that play, and the ball just kept going. So, I mean, and that's just the same thing with the SEC championship game. We had that conversation. As bad as Bama seemed to dominate that game was 3-4 plays. Would have went Georgia's way, you have a completely different ballgame.
I won't. Well, I was about to say something in regards to previewing the Natty. We'll wait on that for another video. But there's not a whole lot more to say other than this. Georgia dealt for 30 days. Everybody doubting them.
Yeah.
And I will say this: Bama looked vulnerable.
Oh yeah, they did. They really did.
They're not the same high-powered offense without Mechie. I don't believe.
And I will say Cincinnati. Now I believe Cincinnati's secondary has consistently been better than Georgia's has. Now they haven't
their
played,
corners are very good.
Yeah, they haven't played as great of a talent, obviously, but Jameson Williams was mostly a non-factor in that game. I mean, he made some plays, but it was mostly short crossing routes.
Sauce Gardner's a man.
Yeah, no, he is. I mean, he didn't
Man.
take the top off of that defense, and I think a lot of that's because of John Mechie not being there. But I mean, he had one of the quietest games I've seen him pretty much all year against Cincinnati. Who's to say that can't happen again?
Right, and that's what it's going to take. And we'll preview that game and discuss what's going to happen for one team or another to win. But with all that said, I mentioned this leading up to the playoffs. A lot of the times these games are blowouts.
Oh yeah.
And we continue to say, well, I don't see Georgia blowing out Michigan. I don't see Michigan blowing out Georgia. But we did say, if one team blows out the other, we believe Georgia blows out Michigan.
Right.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
It's a one-game season, and you see that in the NFL and Super Bowls. A lot of the time, it's a blowout.
Yeah, it is.
These 2 great teams play, and one of them is just it's their day.
Right. Absolutely. And that's a real thing, and people overlook that. And that's one thing. At this point, the playoff expansion is inevitable, and I'm not necessarily. I used to be adamantly against it. I think it'll help at least some of the bowl games within the playoffs be more important.
There's pros and cons.
But I just think that goes to show you once more. I've said it a million times, year in and year out, since the playoffs have started, when has there really been more than 2 teams that can really win a natty?
Yep.
I mean, we seen in the semifinals, Cincinnati's not a national championship team. They're not. Michigan's not a national championship team. They're not.
Yep.
You can go the year before that. Oklahoma's not a national championship team. Clemson's not a national championship team that year. And, I mean, you can keep going. Typically, there's 1 to 2 teams that can truly win a national championship. And that's why I don't understand why everybody wants a 125-team playoff. It's like there's probably 2 teams
And
that
even
can
if
win
you
a
look at the natties themselves, most of them have become blowouts.
Yeah.
You've got
absolutely.
a knockout, drag out with Georgia. The Clemson and Bama games. A lot of those were knockout dragouts.
Yeah.
One Clemson won was a knockout dragout
Yeah,
last second.
And then the one that we did win, we won dominant. The
Yep,
other one.
You did.
And then LSU beat us pretty good. It was
Yep.
close for a half, but they ended up running away with it.
And so I don't think one team blows out the other
Right.
between Georgia and Bama coming up. But we'll talk about that. But honestly, a lot of what was kind of expected. I think Georgia played better than we expected. And I think Bama Cincinnati was about what we expected.
Right. I'll tell you what, y'all did a great job protecting. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson and Ajabo, I think that's how you pronounce his name, they didn't get after the quarterback, as much as they needed to in order for Michigan to win the game.
I don't believe
think
either one of them
sacked.
recorded a sack.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So some of that's play calling, but some of that's just blocking as well. But thanks for watching, and we're going to get some content pushing out over the next couple days. We're regretful that we haven't been able to record, but bear with us.
Hey,
with
we're
that.
mustard.
Well,
We're trying to catch up, baby.
oh. Hey,
Come on.
mayonnaise.
Hey, not mayonnaise. Out on that. Hey, keep talking ball, baby.
Go Dogs.